I was fascinated of the architecture since my childhood. My daddy was an architect, my grandfather was a builder and his father as well. So I was always confronted with this kind of look of objects. So I was fascinated of all those structures, of all the craftsmanship, all the stories of our culture here in Europe. So you find in some facades more than 1,000 years of information you can read out. So this was the main situation for me, to dive in, to create something different, to experiment with this reproduction architecture view. 10 years ago I changed my way of life and I concentrate only on this subject. I did no other jobs in those 10 years, only this. And in the way of life we travel with a big truck in a nomad situation, so we can stop in those places where the cathedrals, churches and monasteries are placed. I capture them for a long time, for days, up to weeks, and then I always be in contact with them if I work the first part of my images out. And I concentrate on the culture, on the people, on the situations around, so I can dive into the structures of each area and not have the tourist situation, 5 minutes Köln, 5 minutes Aachen, 5 minutes the next place. The bus goes in 10 minutes. You see the umbrella and we have to go. So this is not the way I want to work. For me it was interesting to play with the perspective and create something further on like classical laws of photography. I want to transport more information. So if you look on my Chartres, this kind of perspective you never find on the original place. But if you go and have a picture of my works with you, you find every detail, every stone on his position. So it's not composing like an artist draws it normally, it's all reality, but in a new way of viewing, like the classical drawings of the architects. So if you put on a layer on Chartres of the classical drawing of this facade, you find this exactly same proportions. So nearly with the distance of far away, but diving in with the situation you visited nearby.
I always think they have a surreal feeling to them because they're so calm and the light is so even and no people, no destruction by modern advertising or shops and commercial outlets you might find in these places. It's reducing the building to its original structure, maybe the way the builders and architects have envisioned it when they made the first sketches. But they never saw the finished result for sure. This goes really beyond the religious aspect, and the religion is only part of our culture in this way. And these buildings are showing European culture of 1500 years through religious buildings. But if you look at the facades, yes, there's a lot of religion in them, but it's also the built history of the cities or towns or villages. They added a lot of local aspects in each facade, some more, some less. And architectural history, cultural history, all based on Christian culture.
Size matters, it's easy to say. You need a minimum size, like for the big ones, we have a second size in 1.80 meters high. So it's the minimum to transport the information I want to bring to the viewers. Because I have a wonderful feeling staying in front of the objects, capturing it, working it out, seeing more and more details than you can see in original visiting. Because if you go, for example, to Cologne, you have thousands of people around you. You have all the disturbing stuff. You never can concentrate in this, the informations you can find in.
By having no people, no cars, you make the whole structure and facade much more visible. Some of these facades in churches you can never see like this because there's always something blocking the view. But he takes most of the pictures very early in the morning between 5 and 6, 7 o'clock when there's as little traffic as possible. but still it's a big challenge to get to that pure view.
It's a more manual manipulation. So a lot of people think it's classical stitching. It is not. It's more handwork, and it is more my vision, how I stay in front of these objects and what can I transport in my personal feeling in those works. The technique is for me absolutely the last necessary part we should discuss. It's necessary to capture the pictures in good quality. It's necessary to use the best technique to work them out. But finally, for me, speaks only the result.